Everyone is a filmmaker these days, right? Everyone has a camera in their pocket.
Envision the end goal of what the client wants to achieve, and don't let that original idea, that original assumption, cloud our direction of getting there.
We are designers of an audience experience.
Video isn't the goal, video is the tool to achieve that goal.
Back for a new topic, something new to explore in the wonderful world of film and video.
Yeah.
So Alex, what did you have in mind today to discuss?
I wanted to talk about the process we have when a new client comes to us with a problem, and how we apply the scary thought of control chaos to that process.
The core concept of what we do is that we're not just video producers, we are designers of an audience experience.
Yeah.
And it's basically where art and science meet and have like a really happy marriage.
Yeah.
And their offspring is great video, in our case.
Yeah, and that comes from your design engineering background.
Yeah. Like originally I am trained as an industrial design engineer. Up until 5 or 6 years ago, I've never lifted a camera. I wouldn't even know which way to point it. Filmmaking itself, like camera operating, DOPing, that's not really my speciality. What I care about is the audience experience. Like if you put so much effort into communicating something to someone through the medium of film, you have to ensure that the way you communicate it fits the audience. Everyone is a filmmaker these days, right? Everyone has a camera in their pocket that can shoot 4K or 8K. So everyone can shoot, but can they create a narrative fitting for your audience? I think that's where the real value lies in working with professionals. Professionals like yourself who know how to craft an image that focuses the attention of the audience towards a certain point. And experts like myself who are able to craft a narrative that guides the audience on a journey towards an envisioned future. I've got a big issue with top-down content. And with top-down content, I mean someone standing in an ivory tower acting like he is a someone divine, a god amongst men, deciding what is right for my audience. Yeah.
Except they don't do that, they go, don't tell me what to do.
Exactly.
A client might come to us with a very specific idea for a video. Like, oh yeah, we'll film me talk about this to camera for a minute, and then we'll show some of the factory, or we'll show some of our workers out on site, and then you'll edit that together and you'll give us a video. And hopefully that will increase our sales. What our control chaos does within the process is to envision the end goal of what the client wants to achieve.
Exactly.
And don't let that original idea, that original assumption, cloud our direction of getting there, because that's a very expensive assumption which could cost a lot of money with hardly any to no results.
If you're creating something that does not exist yet, you don't know which direction you should or could go. So that's when you start to explore. So imagine like a dot here, and this is the starting point, and here is the end point. Yeah? And we draw a line. What people often assume is that from the idea we need to create something to a final product, to a final delivery, a final digital delivery of a video, people assume that it's a straight line where you go for, all right, I come up with an idea, I plan everything, I shoot, and I edit, right? That's an assumption of a linear process. Well, in fact, it starts with the idea generation, where you explore, like, all right, who are we targeting? Let's analyze that. So let's go this way, or let's go this way. Do we need to target those people, or do we need to target those people, or those people, or those people? All right, now we know where our content would be most effective. So our starting point starts here. All right, we know who we're going to target. Now, how can we target them? Let's explore this option, this option, this option, this option. All right, back. All right, we know this works. We know who, we know how. Let's now be creative in the way we produce this, and then we could film testimonials, we could film interviews, we could film a cinematic scene, etc. That's where you start exploring again. And throughout all these options, ultimately, there will be a almost linear experience, but you have to explore and validate in between to ensure that you're making the right decision. To go from idea to production in one straight line is basically setting yourself up to fail. No, there are steps in between where you validate, and that can be, and to me that's controlled chaos, because when you start here, you're unsure about where you're gonna end. It's about testing early on in the process and exploring different options to ensure that your vision of the future will become a reality. If you just go on straight without thinking about anything, you'll reach a destination, but probably not the right destination.
Yeah.
And then you'll look back like, I wish I would have done things differently.
You've got to take video as not as the end goal. Your end goal should be, let's say more people are recycling. 100% more people are recycling now since that campaign than before it. That's your goal. Video isn't the goal. Video is the tool to achieve that goal.
Yeah.
It might not work in some cases. Maybe a really nice blog is all you needed. Probably not.
Yeah.
But if that's what we discover in our control chaos process, then so be it.
You can really make a difference with video content. Like, the more effort you put into making it a real valuable audience experience, the better your results will be. People need to feel connected with the content. They need to feel addressed by the content. That it's, yes, you're talking about me. Yeah, let's wrap it up. I think we've covered quite a lot. All right, thanks for watching. This was our second attempt at creating valuable content. We're going to reflect on this process and see if we can improve upon it. If you've got feedback for us, please do share it, because we always use feedback to improve what we can and can't, and we discover what our next steps will be. If you've got more topics you would like us to discuss, let us know, because we're keen to help. And Absolutely. If you've got a project for us, let us know. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.